Hello! Tonight's homework is working on word problems that are comparison problems. They're comparing people and the objects that they have. It is important to note, and I've talked to students a lot about that the directions say draw comparison bars and write an equation to solve each problem. Because the directions say it, they must do both. Just like previous problems, we are always read the first time to make sure we can understand the words. Tran has 29 seashells. Vimy has 63 seashells. How many fewer seashells does Tran have than Vimy? Now I read it for information. Tran has 29 seashells. I learned that Tran has 29. Vimy has 63 seashells. Vimy has 63 seashells. How many fewer seashells does Tran have than Vimy? So I'm wondering how many fewer. This word fewer is a key word that will be very helpful. So here I am, I'm thinking, okay, I'm talking about two different people and about what they have. I'm talking about who has fewer. It could be who has more, but this time it's looking at who is fewer. So I'm definitely going to use a comparison bar. So I'm going to draw my comparison bar to start us off. I have a big bar to represent the person who has the most, a smaller bar for the person who has fewer, and I have a circle. The number that goes in the circle is the fewer or the more number. So I know I'm comparing two people. I'm comparing Tran and Vimy. I'm thinking to myself, who gets which box? Who has more? Tran has 29. Vimy has 63. 63 is more than 29, so Vimy has more. Tran has fewer. Then I'm going to fill in the information. Tran has 29. I know he has 29. Vimy has 63. That's a definite. Vimy has 63. This circle is for your more or your fewer number. I am looking for the fewer number. How many fewer? So this should be left empty. Now to figure out how to solve, all I'm going to do is think about this as my math mountain. I'm missing an addend, so how would I find it? I would subtract. I would do 63 minus 29 equals that missing number. Comparison bars, equation. Now I can do my work to find the answer. 63 minus 29. 3 minus 9. I'm doing subtraction, so I'm going to think of my poem. More on the floor or more up top. More on the floor, go next door, borrow 10 more. So there are 6 tens. When I borrow, they'll be left with 5 tens. It gets regrouped into the ones place, so I have 10 more over here. That gives me 13. 13 minus 9 is 4. 5 minus 2 is 3. So how many fewer seashells? 34 fewer seashells. And again, because I was looking for this fewer number, that's a part of my label. Fewer seashells. Okay? Now I'm going to take a look at number 2. Justine and Morgan are buying feathers at the craft store. Morgan buys 17 more feathers than Justine. Morgan buys 76 feathers. How many feathers does Justine buy? Reading for information. Justine and Morgan are buying feathers at the craft store. Morgan buys 17 more. That's part of it. So Morgan doesn't buy 17. She buys 17 more feathers than Justine. Morgan buys 76. How many feathers does Justine buy? So I'm wondering about Justine. I'm comparing two people, so I'm going to draw my comparison bars. Think about who am I comparing? Well, I'm comparing Justine and Morgan. Who buys more, Justine or Morgan? Looking back, Morgan buys 17 more, so Morgan buys more. Morgan's going to have more than Justine, so she gets the bigger bar. Morgan buys 76, so I know now that Morgan buys 76, so that's going to go in this big box. How many feathers does Justine buy? Well, if that's part of the question, I know I'm not going to know how many Justine bought. I need one more number here, so I'm going to look back. Morgan buys 17 more. 17 is attached to more, so that is going to go in my circle. Again, I think about here, what would I do if this was a math mountain? I'd be missing an addend, so I would do subtraction. Comparison bars, equation. Now I can solve. 76 minus 17, doing subtraction, so thinking of my poem. More on top or more on the floor? There's more on the floor. I'm going to go next door. Borrow 10 more. 16 minus 7 is 9. 6 minus 1 is 5. So my answer is 59 feathers, because that is what Justine bought. Notice here I didn't write fewer or more on this side because I wasn't looking for the fewer or more. If that's what I was looking for, then that would also have to be part of my label. As always, any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to contact me and ask them. Have a great one.